can put it up on YouTube, onto the 4-H YouTube channel, so that those students who are not here today, who have registered for the program, can still work along and do this program on their own later. All right, so welcome to 4-H Makerspace. I hope you all had time to pick up your kits at the 4-H office and visit Miss Mary Louise Wood, or maybe your parent did. We have a bunch of projects on our list, and you should have a piece of paper like this in your list of all the projects we're going to complete. So today we're going to make terrariums, and I know it's last on the list of projects, but it's some of the coolest and funnest stuff we can do. Part of the reason we wanted to start our terrariums first, or our garden, you can decide to plant a garden in your garden sprouts using your egg carton instead, if that would be something of interest to you if you are growing a garden at home. If not, you can grow a terrarium, or if you want to split the supplies up and do both, you can do both. Some things that you're going to need for your terrarium are a 2-liter bottle, a plastic bottle, but you can also use a little jar too if you have that available. Let me move over to our supplies table and I'll show you all the supplies you're going to need for today. So we've got plastic bottle or a glass jar. You could use a smaller little bottle too. In your kit, you should have had a baggie of dirt and a baggie of sand. And I also told you when you were looking for your bottle, hopefully you got the message to also get some rocks. If not, you can take a break and go get some rocks in a minute. And then in your package, you should also have a package of seeds. We're going to be using these supplies today to make our project today. Now you might be wondering what the other supplies are for. These are some of the other supplies you found in your kit. Those include little leather pieces, tissue paper, some fabric, popsicle sticks, corks, glue sticks, some clothespins, a couple pieces of string, beads, circuitry, battery, pom-poms. Everybody needs pom-poms. A couple pieces of paper with some designs on it, some rubber bands. We're going to use all that other stuff later. And every week I'm going to send you a reminder of the things that you need to find for that week's project. And if you don't have them, don't worry, because you can use something else. We can help you find a hack or find a solution for whatever you might be missing. So there's always a way to work around it. So the first thing we're going to do is give everyone a second to get their materials together. Do you have your plastic bottle or jar ready? And do you have the labels removed? Go ahead and remove the labels if you can. If you can't get all the label removed, that's fine. Sometimes they don't come off very easy. You might have to have a parent help you get them off with like goo remover or alcohol. Sometimes gets rid of that sticker stuff on there. The other thing is hopefully you guys have some rocks. If you don't have any rocks, this would be the time to run outside and find some rocks and put them in a little bucket and bring them in. We're going to need rocks for our project. How's everyone doing on supplies? Does anyone need a couple minutes so that they can go get supplies?
I need a couple minutes.
Okay, we'll give you about a minute and a half, 2 minutes here. And then we're gonna start, so if you guys need anything, if you're using a plastic bottle, you can either cut the plastic bottle in half with scissors. You might have to ask a parent to help. Sometimes you have to stab it with one end of the scissor to get it to cut in half, but you need to cut it right in half. And I think that Zane will be able to demonstrate that. Zane, tilt your camera down so they could see what you did.
Why do we need to cut it in half?
Because we're gonna build a garden inside of it.
Mhm.
So we're gonna make what's called a terrarium. Does anyone know what a terrarium is?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
Isn't a terrarium pretty much like a miniature like garden? Usually just has grass, but it can also have like other things in it.
Yeah, it does. It really does. So a terrarium is basically a little environment, a mini environment. And I just shared a little picture with you. Do you see that? And that picture shows a terrarium growing in a bowl. And at the bottom are rocks. And then there's a layer of charcoal or sand. And then there's a layer of potting soil on top of that where the plants are planted.
Rocks on the bottom.
And then there's at least half the space left of air.
Rocks, charcoal, potting soil, plants.
Yep.
Jeez,
And we're using sand instead of charcoal. So what you're going to do is once you get that bottle open, you're going to then put a little bit of rocks in the bottom of your jar.
Yes, yes.
Why don't we do that first?
Can't get anything in it until we do this. This is really stiff.
They gave me an idea. You stab it in one place, then cut through there.
Okay. Stab it. Yeah,
Around the middle.
All right.
stabbing.
Oh,
Okay.
see that? Not too much
Record it?
rock.
Yeah. How about you turn yourself on so she knows?
I am on.
Okay, we got it.
So just a few rocks in the bottom of your jar or in the bottom of your plastic bottle after you cut your bottle in half.
No, I have a question. My dad does. So when you cut it in half, what do you need to do when you cut it in half?
You just cut it in half and you hold the top part to the side for right now. And you're just going to use the bottom half to build the garden part in. And then we're going to tape the top half back on that jar.
My question is that just because his lid is actually really wide for his
Oh,
bottle, so he could actually probably do that without cutting.
he actually could. Yep.
Yeah.
Totally. You don't have to cut your jar if it's
Here's
that
the
wide.
rock.
We have one of these too.
You have some pretty ones. Ready?
Yeah. To it. Is that okay?
If you want to try to use that instead of cutting, but you won't be able to place your seeds in very well. So you might be able to, if you have a long stick, we have
don't
those
want a big one.
dowels in the kit. You can use those to poke the seeds
I'd
in.
use the littler ones.
We cut it in
This
half.
Guys are
Which
coming up with all kinds of solutions.
Which half?
Which half? Up and down or side to side?
You want to cut it in half
These would all be
this
pretty
way,
big pink rocks.
right in
This
the
way.
middle,
In the middle.
like that.
Here, we got a whole
So
bunch.
that you have a top half and a bottom half.
We did not do a top half.
What do you mean top half?
Here,
Zane, can you show your two pieces in the camera?
you got a top half.
Everyone
You
else?
probably got a top so that it'll pop up.
It'll work okay, Nicholas.
It'll work okay.
Kind of have to have it like this. So you got your bottom half here. I took a little bit off like this because
Oh,
it was
am I
a stone,
supposed
so I
to
had a lot.
have a protective layering so the
There's
sand
my two.
doesn't I mean like a rock so the sand doesn't spill through.
Oh, you want bigger rocks?
Let's look. I think all rocks are fine.
You don't need very much rocks, just about an inch at the bottom or a half inch if you're doing a small jar.
I think this is good. That's good. Okay, Mom.
You got more
Wait,
soft ones.
Wait, so I don't.
And then we put our sand in.
You need more. You don't want to have it on the plastic, she said.
No, I said that. Is this good?
How about you put this one in there instead? I liked your flat one better. Yeah. Are they waiting on you to pour your sand?
I have a question.
Pour your sand if you want.
Why are all of them muted?
She's filming.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Is this good enough? Should I start putting the sand in?
Yep. Yep. Like I just put in a little bit of sand. Some of my sand went through my rocks, but I still have my rocks in there and enough sand. And then I'm gonna start putting some dirt on top now.
I'm gonna get a spoon.
There we go. Sand.
Is it something like this and you put the sand on top?
So I don't have enough rocks, or yeah, well, I don't have enough rocks, but they're really big. So I technically don't have enough sand. So is it okay if I take some sand from me and my sister have a sandbox out in our backyard?
Yeah,
Is it
just
okay if I-
don't use too much sand. Let me see how much you have in your drawer right now.
Oh, is it so?
Or let me turn off the visual effects.
I think this.
And then we put in dirt.
You memorize everything they say.
How much dirt did she tell you?
Okay.
We just put in a little bit more than the sand, make a little layer.
Okay.
This is
The most important part is that you want to leave half the jar with air and half the jar with the medium.
See, you do
okay,
not
so I
want to.
probably do need a little bit more sand.
Yeah, you had too much. Sand.
Wait. Some my pepperness.
Okay, there we go. So now put dirt on top, right?
Yep, dirt on top of the sand.
Dirt on top of the sand. Can I at least do it? I need this dirt. I need this dirt.
Hey everybody, I'm gonna go
Is it
ahead
this
and
dirt?
put my sand on now so you guys
Is
can
it this
see.
dirt?
It's got some rocks in there. I hope you can see okay.
I know more. Okay. I'm just wondering what dirt.
So
what
I'll
do
try
we
to
do
put
now?
in
This
the
thing
right
has
amount
to
of
be this
sand
dirt.
so that
This
you
is
guys,
the dirt.
if you're wondering if you have the
Looks
right
like
amount of
dirt, right?
sand, I can help
Okay,
you out.
where do we get seeds?
Yeah, where do we get the seeds?
This book.
There's no seeds. There's no seeds in the packet.
How's this?
Can you press that later?
Nicholas, that looks great.
Oh wait, never mind.
Probably upset, just a tad annoyed.
So there's a bag. When do we put the plants in?
Oh.
That's in your
So do we just like pour this inside on top of the sand?
and then you can pour some in your egg thing. That's what
I think we need this bag. So how are we gonna open this?
Just pour it on.
When do we put in our seeds?
There's different seeds.
What? You're muted.
Lettuce?
You're muted.
You expect me to grow lettuce?
You're muted.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, find your seed packets. Inside that packet is a bunch of seeds.
No.
And then you're gonna choose probably one or two different varieties of something to grow in there. And you only need to put in about maybe 4 to
Carrots and
seeds of each kind max. So maybe a total of 8 seeds or 12 at the very most.
So after the sand, we put in the dirt on top.
After the sand, you put in your dirt to make it a layer like that.
A little bit more.
Use your hands now.
What are they?
You can make radish.
Oh, this
Is
tastes.
that what you want? You're supposed
Oh,
to
it smells.
2 packets and
8
4,
seeds, whatever.
2 packets and 4 from each.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Bare hands.
Carrots, lettuce, carrots,
Oh, okay.
Sometimes the seeds are
Then
really teeny.
spinach, radish.
And lettuce now. Let's open these very.
You know, we can save some of these for later. Summer squash, onion, cucumber, sweet pepper,
How
tomato.
many of you are growing a garden at home this summer?
We used to, but not anymore.
I think these.
We can plant these, Nick, and not that by the farm.
If you have extra dirt, you can put that extra dirt into your egg carton and plant some of those seeds in an egg carton and water them as starts for
I
your
think
garden.
lettuce and carrots.
I found some really, really tiny seeds.
How many?
No, I think
So
you said like
4
8.
seeds only.
8 eggs.
Of one type, and then you can do 4 seeds of another.
So, but the seeds all seem very small.
Yep, they are. They're very small.
Carrots. This is lettuce.
Carrots and carrot. So we're going carrot and lettuce.
Okay.
I'm going cucumber lettuce.
Yes.
I've got a seed here. How you can see it? It's a little tiny one for Cosmo. And I'm gonna start planting them.
Well, we can plant.
One more. What's that?
And on the seeds, there are directions on how deep you need to put the seed. 1/4 inch. Some might be 1/8 of an inch. Some might lay on the surface. Did you get dirt yet?
Tiny. No.
One.
So then we're gonna water them, right?
Yeah, now you gotta water them and put the lid on and seal it up.
How am I gonna seal these things? Oh, we have extra dirt.
And then if you've got soil left over, you can do this with your egg carton.
Soil.
4 carrots. Now time for the lettuce.
Hey, we need to.
Okay, the lettuce seeds are literally super, super small. So should I just put in like a pinch of them?
Yeah, you could, but I wouldn't put in more than 5.
No,
Because otherwise you get a bunch of little lettuces growing and they'll kind of dominate each other and none will survive.
Wow, Nick, you have cucumber. I can't wait to plant the cucumber. Sweet pepper, spinach, summer squash. I say we plant these in the yard tonight. Radish,
So what's some of these carrot seeds inside?
marigold. I can't wait to plant these. Onion, tomato.
We just put all of them in.
It gives you a ton of seeds.
Yeah, I think your mom might be more excited about this project. Yeah.
So is this the carrot? Lettuce. I want you to put this in here.
Recipes.
In here. Right in.
I'm gonna show Laura this.
A little pinch. Here you go.
So should I
Question, how do you open the lettuce pack?
You want to tear it open and then inside it is going to be a little envelope. And then you open that envelope up.
Yeah,
tear it
how do
open,
you
and then
open
pour
the
some of
envelope?
seeds into your hand.
We have scissors.
Careful. Very careful.
Sharp objects. Do not stick sharp objects in others.
And then we should put like more lettuce somewhere.
So where do you think we need to put these after we make them?
Outside.
So give me.
So we probably don't want to put them outside yet. It could still be too cold. Actually, 2 days ago, we still had a frost.
You just
But
drop
in a nice warm window would be
Ask her
good.
if you drop them or you
The
cover them.
terrariums, you
Do
just
we
wanna
cover
water
them
and
with
put
dirt?
in what?
Do we cover them with dirt?
The seeds?
Perfect.
Yeah, read on your seed packet. On the front of your seed packet is a little bit of directions about how deep to sow the seed or plant the seed.
You should have put it inside the soil. What's it say? I don't even know where you dropped them.
Inside.
Yeah, but what? How deep do they need to be?
Hey, so do I water mine now or what do I do?
So, no,
I need
lettuce.
the lettuce. Where's that?
All right. Well,
No, no,
I'm
no.
gonna
Where's the
get
lettuce
ready to
pack?
do summer squash,
Lettuce.
So an average
cucumber, and
soil.
spinach in my
Okay.
garden.
The lettuce.
Soil after
Just
Jaden have
put the lettuce.
just seeds. Type
Good. Now
Yeah,
this
that
we also
goes
needs to
below
cover.
it too.
Nick, I don't even know where you put them. Where are your carrots?
I know nothing about gardening.
Cucumber.
Open your carrots.
I did carrots.
Where were the carrots?
I sprinkled them in. 4.
You don't sprinkle though, you plant in the soil. That's the problem. They have to be covered.
That. Now I think I need water.
Yep, you might need a cup of water to water these plants when you get ready.
Let me get some water.
I say we use the spray bottle. So you don't overwater them.
Little garden starts there. I got all my cucumbers in.
Now we got some water.
Does anyone need help?
Put a little bit more. They need water.
Lid, Mom.
Yeah, it says they need a lid. They said they need a lid. Ask.
Do they need a lid?
Yeah, you have to have a lid on your jars for your terrarium.
Why did I want to know that?
It'll go over it. It'll go over
Yeah,
it.
made a little
That's
label
cool.
for my garden row. That's all
Look at this.
cucumber.
I think we need the lid.
There, Nick. Look at that.
Okay.
Do we want to leave the screw top off the lid?
No, you want your screw top on because you got to close up the system. The terrarium is a closed system.
And then it goes in the sun?
It goes in a window. You don't want it to have too much direct sun because it can magnify, but you want to put it like in a window that gets some sun, and then you just got to check it, make sure it doesn't dehydrate.
Good. Okay, then we're gonna need some plants.
You want to add enough water that it doesn't flood up to the soil,
Okay.
just a little at the bottom of the rocks. Yep.
Okay.
Planting some summer squash in this one. Is anyone else gonna plant some garden starts in their egg container?
Question.
I just started learning more about gardening.
What are the egg things for?
The egg things are for making a garden start. If you'd like to start planting a garden and plant some of these seeds with your leftover soil in them.
Yes, 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 yes.
So then you can do what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing with mine right now.
We don't have to,
Let's
but
put
we're
more
about
water
to
in
use the extra dirt to use this to make a miniature garden.
Well, we cut the top off though, right?
Of what?
The egg carton.
Oh yeah, I cut the top off and I actually put it under mine.
Okay.
And sometimes I'll even put a piece of tinfoil between them so that it'll catch the water and not drip.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'll go get the tinfoil. You pay attention. Okay.
Dirt in it.
Yeah, well, use your spoon because you're going to plant your seeds. Here's your seeds. She'll tell you how many.
How can you do this? She did one for each socket, like one for each of these.
And then you got to bury it, remember?
No, they need light, so that means we have to like
Yeah, let us
put too much water.
I'm going to go get the tinfoil.
You're supposed to have like 4 of each.
Now I'm gonna plant my spinach.
Wait, do we leave? Like, should we leave now that we're done?
If you know, we're gonna do a share and tell at the end, and we're gonna show our projects off to each other. And we want to make sure that you get water in your terrarium too. Did you put water in your terrarium? Nope. It has to have water for those seeds to think about sprouting. What do plants need to live?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I can't see anything. I can't see anything either.
Hey, Mary? Or Jane?
Okay, let me mute it. First, I want to find my earbuds.
All right, so here's my garden starts. I've got my garden rows labeled. I've got my terrarium here. I'm gonna go get some water so I can put some water in my terrarium now. I'll be right back.
Yeah,
I have a question.
What's up, Jason?
So, my sister literally just invited her friend over, and now she's here, and it's probably going to be really loud, just so you know.
Okay.
So if you start hearing really loud noises, it's probably her.
So what we're doing in our terrariums is called the water cycle, and we're creating a closed system with water that's going to drain through down to the bottom of our terrarium through the soil. And then when we put the lid on and put it in a window, it's going to evaporate. And then the plants are going to basically sprout in here and grow. So we will check on these next week. How far along are you all coming? How much more time do you need?
We or not we. I think the question modern Shakespeare.
Does anyone need more time, or are you all done?
This side is tomatoes, and this side will be onions. So that's nice.
Oh, I didn't bring a phone up.
I know. Ben, are you done with your terrarium? You are? Awesome. All right, let's see here. Who else? Okay. How about SG?
What?
How are you doing with your terrarium? Do you need more time before we do a share and tell?
I'm almost done.
Okay. Jaden.
Oh, that's next.
Jaden, let me see the bottom of your bottle there. Lift it up.
Okay, I'm just
Awesome. So what I'm thinking is you've got a lot of space. Maybe you can cut some of the middle section out and make your bottle shorter. Like that's what Zane did to his, because his was too long. Yep, see what Zane did? Jaden, look at the screen. See Zane? He cut a middle section out of his bottle. and made it a little shorter. Just maybe about 2 or 3 inches off, and then tape that top back on. All right, how about Madison? How are you doing with yours?
I'm almost done.
Okay, awesome.
You know where I think
Looks like you're about to put your top on.
here.
Yeah.
Awesome. That'll be a good feeling.
Baby, don't hurt me no more. 'Cause baby,
You know where they did a lot of light?
Where?
Your bedroom. I think we should plant marigolds in our flower bed. Cosmos are flowers too. That's really nice. These 3 are flowers. We should plant them outside in the front. See if they're annuals or perennials. It looks really yummy. Where's the? Here's your lettuce. Where's this carrot?
those are lettuce.
Where's the carrots? Or tomatoes? Where'd you put the tomatoes?
You mean
You
carrots?
planted 2 kinds of seeds.
Yeah. In that, I planted onions and tomatoes, but in my terrarium, I planted
Where are the
carrots
tomatoes?
and lettuce.
Where are the tomatoes though?
You mean the carrots?
Yeah. No, see, you have 1 seed pack in there, but I thought there's nothing in the tomato one. You
Yes,
didn't use them
there is.
all, did you?
I didn't use them all.
So where'd they go?
They're just very small.
Weren't they in a double packet?
No.
They didn't spill?
No,
That's kinda
it just
sketchy.
didn't give us a lot. It didn't
Oh,
give us
gotcha.
that much.
As long as I didn't spill them,
No, we didn't.
because that would be a bummer. Okay. I can't wait to plant all these, Nick. We're going to leave these out for Dad.
Finished now.
Oh, same with onion. You want to be careful, Nick, because they're going to spill.
My terrarium, I put sweet peppers and carrots in there, and I put tomatoes, sweet peppers, and cucumber in there. Why do you need the rocks? Because the rocks are at the bottom of here. Should we put this back in the packet?
Yeah, how about you write your name on yours? So we know yours from your sister's, please. Here, pen. Same with this
All
one.
right, are we about ready to share our terrariums and gardens? Who needs a little bit more time?
Go get your terrarium. It's right in here. Garden's in your room. Go get your garden. See where I put it. It's in your window. Go get your garden.
Take that away, this stuff.
Yeah, go
We
get
don't need it anymore.
go get your garden.
First.
Sorry, my sister killed my terrarium.
Uh-oh, did a terrarium get sacrificed by a sibling? Is that what I heard?
No, the terrarium is fine. No, she killed it. I did not.
This is really cool.
At least it didn't break. I'm sorry.
Can I go? I guess.
Are you ready to present? Is that what you're saying?
No, my friends want to go on a bike ride with me.
Oh, well, you have to show us your terrarium and your project first.
Okay. Let me turn off the camera effects here.
Let's see your stuff before you take off.
Sorry, give me a second. I gotta turn it off.
All right, so Finn is gonna show us his terrarium first.
I've got rocks, sand, grass, or not dirt, grass.
Yeah, just use our thing. Don't use them.
Awesome.
It's in my wallet.
That's
It's
great.
in my wallet.
And if you have any little plants or anything like that, you could dig up a little piece of dirt and plant it in here. Or grass, you certainly could do that. Or one of my other favorite things to put in these terrariums is Johnny jump ups. Those are super fun. All right, who else would like to present? Looks like Isaiah's holding his up.
Can I
leave?
Can I?
We're gonna have, are you done, Jonathan?
Not done yet.
Can I?
All right, Isaiah, I think, is ready to go, and then we'll have Nicholas.
We can do another one for your sister if she won't do it.
Isaiah, take your effects off so we can see your terrarium.
I will do it. No, you have to switch it.
Oh, nice.
No, it's usable.
Awesome. And did you tape your bottle back together? You had to cut it in half? Awesome. All right. So you want to leave these lids on these bottles and keep them closed so that they have the proper water cycle happening in there. All right, Nicholas, would you like to share your terrarium now?
Yes, I would. Yes. Okay. Here is my terrarium.
Great.
In it, I planted lettuce and carrots.
Nice.
And here is my garden. And here I planted tomatoes. Tomatoes and onions.
Planted the flowers.
Onions.
Awesome. Very good.
We have a question for Nicholas's sister.
Yeah.
So our only other 2-liter bottle is green. It's a Sprite bottle.
And it's not empty yet.
I dumped it.
What? Mom, you idiot. You idiot. You absolute idiot.
Do you think it will grow?
That's the second time you've done it.
Maybe.
You
Maybe.
absolute.
You can try it. That's what baking's all about, is experimenting.
There you go.
Put it in
You've
a
done
brighter
it before.
window. It'll
You've done it
probably work.
before.
Okay, who else would like to share? Jaden, you want to share your terrarium?
Sure.
That'd be great.
Oh my. It has rocks at the bottom that
He
are
has a
very heavy. And it has sand and then dirt, and I planted carrots and lettuce.
Nice. Very good.
Oh, Jesus heavy. Why do I get so big?
All right. How about, who else is ready? Connor's ready? Okay.
I put all the flowers in this one. I can't remember the names.
The Cosmos?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Zinnia and Marigold.
Oh, zinnia and marigold. Oh, I love marigolds. That's great. And zinnias are really pretty. That'll be nice. Did you put water in it?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good. Make sure you all put a little bit of water in there and put the lids on and put it in a nice bright place. See here, we haven't seen Madison's yet or Jonathan's yet.
I can go.
Nice. Let's see that, Madison. Show us. You got to take off your speaker. Oh, and we have SG showing off hers.
I made a terrarium and I planted carrots and sweet peppers in it.
Excellent.
And I also made a garden and I planted cucumbers, tomatoes, and sweet peppers.
Nice. Nice. That sounds like fun. And you can take that lid off and cut it and put it under this one. That's what I did with mine. And I'm going to put a piece of tin foil between them so that the tin foil will catch the water and it won't leak on my counter.
Okay.
All right, let's check out Madison's.
This is mine. It's,
Awesome. What did you plant?
Tomato, cosmos, sweet peppers, and something else.
Excellent. Awesome. And how about Jonathan? Jonathan, do you want to share yours?
Okay.
Oh, nice. What did you plant?
I put in some carrots and I put in some lettuce because that's the only stuff that we had. And I'm pretty sure it's going to die. But hey,
It might. We'll see if it sprouts first. It has to sprout first for it to die. So,
does it?
yeah. It can't die if it's not living in the first place.
Isn't the seed the baby though? And doesn't it?
The seed is like a baby that doesn't have water on it yet and it's not growing. So it's kind of a dormant baby.
So it is.
Not really a live baby. It's kind of a dormant baby.
Right.
All right. So how did you all do? Did you have fun with this activity? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so we'll be back next week. I'll send you an email probably on Tuesday before the program, letting you know what materials and supplies you need to find for the next activity. And I think we're going to be making the toilet tube Japanese flying carp.
Oh, yeah.
You want to see a picture of it?
Sure. Okay.
Let me see if I can find a picture here.
There's such things as flying cars.
Carp. Carp. It's a type of fish.
Knew it. Oh, a carp.
Yeah, carp.
Well,
Let me see if I can find the picture here.
Found toilet paper.
I gotta find the picture and then I could show you. Let me look on the internet.
Are you done?
Almost.
Huh?
Almost.
Oh. Now, why there are some extra rocks?
Huh? Because the sand wouldn't cover it.
哦，那你可以扔到后面去。
Get out.
All right, so I'll show you a picture. This is what we're gonna be making next week.
Oh, next week.
Yeah,
Whoa,
so
what's
we're
that?
making
Toilet paper flying
a
carp.
Japanese flying carp. It's kind of like a kite on a stick. They're pretty fun. It's a springtime celebration.
Look what we're making next week.
So you can make that one, right?
We're making these next week. Oh, I think I know.
So it should be fun. But I will send you any supply. I don't think you need anything specific for next week.
Okay.
Maybe some glue. Elmer's glue is what you're gonna have to use, but you could also use a glue stick, something like that to make these. But we will send you some more information and let you know exactly what you need. We look forward to seeing you next week at 3 o'clock. Do you have any questions?
No,
No.
we're good.
Nope.
Anyone have any comments?
Nah, not really.
Okay. Well, then we'll see you all next week. Have a good weekend.
You too. Bye.
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 Bye.